Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Tower of God, Chapter 347 or Season 2, Episode 267, and it's maybe going to be kind of a short one. I mean, there's not really much to discuss. It was a chapter where there was mostly action, so I mean, very little content to discuss, but either way, let's go through it part by part. I guess that's the way I'll do this. I'll just jump into it part by part. Because general thoughts are just that, it was mostly action. But either way, starting off, we had bomb versus bomb this time. And we see that they not only have the ability to use the same abilities, but also have the same level of power, which is something I was confused about. Well, not really confused about, but I was wondering how Siu would do it. Is this bomb going to be the same bomb that he was around the time that he looked like that and was quote-unquote violed, even though he's always viol, kind of. But no, apparently he has the strength of this current bomb, even though he has the look of the other bomb. And he has the personality of neither, really. I think he's just sort of a data copy with no personality whatsoever. He's just a personalityless, emotionless, go-after bomb machine. So pretty much all he is right now, but we don't know where it could go in the future. But Bomb offers, how about we just not fight? You know, this whole fighting thing, let's just not do this. And Yuan Sung comes in trying to tell him the error of his ways, where he's telling him, it's just data following a system. It might look like you, but it's not actually you. It doesn't have your personality, your memories. It's just a copy. So at least that's what I'm getting out of this, and I feel as though I may be contradicted later on if we have a sworn enemy later on with the memories of the person it's emulating, but I don't think so. I think pretty much all they're trying to say here with this whole bomb and bomb thing is that the other bomb isn't like him in any way. It's just, it isn't like him other than looking like him and using the abilities and stuff, but he doesn't actually, he's sort of, I don't know, well, I guess if he's made from Bomb's fears, he is how Bomb saw himself, how Bomb sees that evil, questionable part of himself. So this is all created by Bomb, so the personality of this, I guess, isn't totally personalityless. It's the personality that Bomb would have thought of it as having. So that's an interesting way to look at things. So I guess, like, if somebody did say, like, Kun made a copy of his father to be his sworn enemies, that copy of the father would be from Kun's memories. It would be from Kun's perspective, so it wouldn't really have the exact thoughts and personality of his father, but it would rather have more like what Kun thinks of his father, what he sees of him. So it's what you see of your rival or your worst fear, but it's from your perspective, so that's interesting. It's their own creation. So that is interesting, and it does make sense that Bomb would have not been talkative in his imagination of himself, because when he was Viol at the very beginning, meeting Wingnan and Yeon and everybody, he wasn't very talkative. So yeah, all makes sense. But basically after this whole thing with Yuan Sung trying to explain how the stuff works to him and telling him it's just data, it's not really a person, it's not really you, a giant soldier arrives, but, before that, it's pretty much designed to only try to kill him, but Bomb, either way, when he fights with it, and he fights for a good little bit of a while, he struggles with the thought of killing himself. That's kind of a weird way to say it, but he doesn't want to kill this thing that looks exactly like him. He's very uncomfortable with it all. So then a giant soldier arrives, they all escape with the bong bong. Bomb saves his sworn enemy, which is very much the Bomb thing to do, but the sworn enemy still attacks him. Again, kind of showing what Yuan Sung was saying is, it's just programmed by a system to attack you, so it's going to keep attacking, no matter what, just because it's its program. But he gets taken down by Bodice, and I like Bodice's design. I like the way he stutters. I think it's very unique and interesting. And his mask thing kind of reminds me of Karaka. It might just be me, but the way the mask, the stuff it's made out of, and just the general design, it reminds me a lot of Karaka's mask. Of course, it's different because the top half of it is, like, opened, but it does remind me a lot of Karaka. So maybe there is some sort of connection there. Like, maybe perhaps Bodice was Karaka's teacher or something, or the person that passed on that type of armor or something. Well, actually, his teacher was Jinsung, the same way Bombs was. But Bomb was taught by both Jinsung and Yuhansung, so Bodice could have some sort of connection to Karaka that we don't know. Just thought that was interesting that their masks were sort of a similar style. Then we see Kun's group and they make it to the town. The town has a really interesting design. I can't quite place it. It doesn't really remind me of anything. It's really unique. It has its own design. Then Sachi and Boro were there waiting for them. Well, not really waiting for them, but they're there in general. And when Boro's freaking out like, alligator, I'm so happy to see you and all that, it's just, it's so weird how much Boro's character has changed. Because remember Boro in the first, 3 or so arcs he was here, he was just this serious, calm, usually calm and quiet veteran, very morose a lot of the times even, very somber. And then out of nowhere, around the time, a little bit after, I guess around Dollar Show time, they kind of switched him from being that character to out of nowhere being sort of the loud, boisterous comic relief. And before that, he was he wasn't super powerful. There were a lot more powerful guys, but he was really experienced and knew a lot of things. And now again, he just seems like he's the clumsy comic relief character. Boro's character has inexplicably changed so much, and kind of for the worse in my opinion. I still really like Boro because when he first showed up and in his first few arcs he was great, but what has CU done to Boro? But yeah, pretty much we see a bunch of they have no memories of the hidden floor, and then we see a bunch of minstrels. At least that's what I'm assuming those guys are, and I'm assuming that lady is the queen minstrel or something. And the town being the first place they'd go to and being called the town of the wandering minstrel would make sense, since I said before, I was like, wait, if mi-eum is the wandering minstrel, why is it called the town of the wandering minstrel? Does she have her own town? I don't think so. I think it's a town, and everybody who enters the floor shows up there. They each get a wandering minstrel, and then they go on their adventures. And the minstrels, like mi-eum said, it's their job to record the activities of the person. So basically, mi-eum, I'm hoping, sticks with them and is sort of Kun's group's their minstrel. But Sachi and Boro may get another minstrel assigned to them. Who knows? Or they could just all head up with mi-eum, and she could be their ally for this arc. So it's really cool, and we don't really know where it's going, but yeah. And I don't know if that lady's the minstrel queen, but she seems to have some sort of leadership role there. And that's actually it. Just a few things in the blog. CU said he was really inspired by the whole isekai, or isekai is like an alternate world fantasy where somebody is put in a world that's foreign to them and all that. CU said that he was really inspired by that because that was the first sort of type of fantasy to really make it in Korea and be popular and stuff. So that's the thing that he first saw and got into, and that's sort of what this is mirrored after, that whole going to another world and being out of place there and adventuring with all the monsters and people of that world. So that's sort of what he's going here. He also brings up that Bomb's sworn enemy isn't really a strong enemy in terms of what the fighting is going to be. It's he is a strong enemy, of course, but he's not written to be a strong enemy to fight. He's written more in the character development and emotional sort of way, written more that instead of being a strong enemy, he's kind of just like a conflict with Bomb's self. It's sort of that the part in Bomb's heart where he's he thinks he has that darkness in him, and he doubts some things that he did, and the character sort of the doubt in Bomb's mind. So I do like that. And then some thoughts I had in general. It was some thoughts and observations. It was shorter, just going actual length, it was shorter than average by a little bit. And in addition to being a little shorter than average, like I said, most of it was action shots, so it ended up being an even quicker read and having less to really discuss. Like I said earlier, I like Bodice's design. I like the way he stutters and stuff. I think he could be an interesting character. I do think it'll be interesting if they take Bomb's enemy with them, his sworn enemy, but I don't know if they will. I don't know if they'll just leave him knocked out there and book it out of there, or if they'll actually take them, or if rather Bomb. The rest probably won't be into it, but if Bomb takes him with them, that would be something. That'd be something cool to see. I think we could tell more stories either way. I think CU is pretty set either way with the amount of stories he could tell. Also, I do see, since they mentioned specifically that he's just data following a system, whenever we have that, whatever is following a system, and it's absolute like that, you know they're always going to betray the system at some point. So I do think Bomb could end up befriending his sworn enemy, and the sworn enemy will end up somehow sort of not really breaking the system, but turning against the system and having free will to do something to help Bomb later on. I could see that happening, since they did specifically mention it like that. I do think the town is cool as well, and yeah, I hope we get to see it a bit more. I hope we don't just rush straight on into the next thing, and we actually get to see Kun's group with Sachi and Boro now in the town for a little bit while they get stuff explained to them, probably by this new character. And yeah, that was it. The fight looked good, but as far as fights go, it was pretty average. I mean, and it wasn't supposed to be anything huge and big because obviously Bomb is being saved for a bigger fight. Like, if this was supposed to be important, then Bomb and his sworn enemy would have gone all out and used all of Bomb's big moves, but neither of them did. So this was just sort of a little quick preliminary thing to give us a taste of it. So, pretty average fight. And I guess that's it. I do like that we got introduced to 2 new characters, or at least got to see them, even though we're not really introduced yet, with that new chick that seems to be some sort of leader among the among the NPCs, among what are they, the minstrels, and then Bodice as well. So it'll be I say interesting way too much in these videos, but I do think it'll be good when we get to see more about who they are and what they do and all that. Especially Bodice. Bodice maybe is another data person, like the memories of somebody like Yuan Sung is what I'm guessing. I'm not thinking he's an NPC, and I'm definitely not thinking he's a sworn enemy. So it'll be cool. Either way, as a score, it was pretty average for Tower of God, which is above average for a lot of shows or a lot of comics, whatever. It was above average for in general, but pretty average for Tower of God. So just as an average, nothing wrong, but not the best ever kind of score. I'd give it 7.5. 7.5 Towns of Minstrels out of 10. That's not a good one. Either way, 7.5 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did like it, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this week's chapter, what you thought of my thoughts on it and all that. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Also, side note, if you want a link to our Discord, ask and I'll give you one. That's it. See you all next time.